What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Book Club. Hopefully my voice will not screech this time. Another discussion on Ian Fleming's On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Amazing book, James Bond book, and we got a great panel here today. So let's bring him in. We've got Mr. Dad Bites himself, Dad Builds. And we got the beautiful Miss Gina, aka Classy Disney Mom, in the chats. Hi. And next we have Mr. Russ Stapleton from What in the World with Russ, my partner channel and partner in crime.
I'm not beautiful too?
The beautiful Mr. Russ Stapleton.
Ravishing Russ.
And next we have, I'm not even going to say what I really want to, but it's Mr. Tracy Glenn, Kenzie Davis' dad. Welcome to the stream. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Grizzly Bear himself, Tim Pruitt. Welcome in, guys. Good to see everyone. How is everyone doing? Good afternoon.
Quietest I've seen Tracy within a minute of the start of the stream.
Should we show why? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
We won't do that. we won't. We'll just direct everyone to a certain Monarch Moment stream on Sunday night. Friday night?
Yes.
Sunday night. Anyways. All right.
Nobody seems to see that.
Well, that's true, but you didn't. That didn't stop you, did it?
I'm sorry.
Stopped.
Highlight of the day. If you want to join our book club, you are more than welcome to.
Zippity doo dad.
So
Zip!
stay tuned for that and welcome in. All right, let's get the chat real quick. I'm going to go up to the top, and we're going to start with Mr. Mike Wheeler. Who's first? Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Tim Pruitt, Katrina Scolpini, Dad Builds, Chris, who's also with us, Happily Ever Yachty, Disney Trash Can, my favorite name on the Disney YouTube streams, chats. Do you have a channel, Disney Trash Can? And Zippity Doodad, who I already welcomed in. Good to see you guys. So glad you are here. Thank you so much for joining. Zip's working. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Oh, I like these. Look at this A-team. I love that. All right. Today we're going to be doing chapters 23, 24, and 25. Mm-hmm. Next week we'll do chapters 26 and 27, and the week after we'll review the movie. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Chapter 23. Tracy, what did you think of chapter 23? What's going on?
Where were we in chapter 23?
We didn't even start yet. I think we
didn't we stop in the middle of a chapter?
We got started, but
we got started.
You can go ahead.
We can refresh if that's okay.
Let's see. What was 23? Was 23 when he went to go see Mark Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Or what's his name there?
Yep.
Mark Ange, Draco
Mark Ange. Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, here we got Mark Ange. He's got everything set up, and he's going over to see Mark Ange. And what came out of this was like the planning on the raid of Scepter. So, and here he has,
Spectre.
Didn't I say Spectre? What did I say? Spectrum?
You said Scepter.
Scepter.
Scepter, Spectrum, Scepter.
S word.
It's been a pretty long day.
It sounds like it.
Well, now my shoulder hurts, so I got my second shot today, so now it's just starting to feel sore.
Yeah, be careful. They say that one's a doozy.
How'd your first one? Oh, never mind.
The first one was fine.
Yeah.
I just realized Tim's name, a vaccinated gummy bear.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it.
I got my one and done the other night.
Nice. All right. So, Rhonda, DWG Adventures, welcome in. It's good to see you. That is Rhonda, right?
And Katrina's absolutely 100% correct. In my world, it all sounds the same.
Yeah.
I'm also the guy who says the Phantom Mentis.
That's the one, Mentis. I was trying to think of it in my head, and I couldn't, so I gave up. But yeah.
Tracy knows what he's saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And my wife knows what I'm saying, so
that's all that
she always
matters.
says I sound like an idiot when I talk, but
yeah,
whatever.
All right, excuse me.
Go ahead, fill us in there, Teen.
So he arrives at the airport. He's got the taxi driver. That's where we left off.
Yes.
And whoops, I clicked the wrong button. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
As long as you're not sharing any videos, we're good.
No, that would be if Chris pressed the wrong button. Yeah, I'm looking for my book. All right, so the taxi driver takes. We're just gonna review real quick. Takes Bond to see Mark-Ange or Draco, whatever you want to call him. I call him the mob boss. And he meets him, takes him to his place, and here we just have discussion, I guess, right? That's all they're really doing. I didn't really.
But, I mean, Draco's happy to see him.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, he's excited.
And excited about the news.
The wedding. Yep.
The wedding.
Yep. They're gonna get married. His daughter and Bond.
I don't think he's the kind of guy you want to disappoint by saying I've decided to call it off, though. Really.
Yeah. Definitely not. So Bond asks. I love this. Bond asks him if he'll come to the wedding, and he says, "Come to the wedding. You will have a time keeping me away from Kitten Bull."
The honeymoon.
Yeah. So he invites him to the sideboard, take a drink, yada, yada, whatever. So now they're getting into business. They're getting into what Bond is really there for. He wants help getting...
I don't get... But here's my thing. I mean, you have Bond, who has the whole Secret Service. You know, why all of a sudden is he going to a mob? Why is he using the mob or the union to do this strike?
Because they're pretty sure that Blofeld has moles. And so they're doing this as a secret mission. They're not telling anyone. M's the only one that knows, and and so that's the only way that they can get to Blofeld without him understanding what's going on.
Well, and I looked at it as Blofeld's got ends with the government there in the local town and everything. So Bond had to go outside of the English government,
right,
to do this, so it didn't look like some sort of military act.
That's kind of what I thought, because Switzerland's always neutral and everything until it comes down to holding your money, and so I figured out I missed part of that. I think I do recall now, though, what Russ said also, that they also knew he had people around. I mean, Spectre was everywhere in these things, so you never really knew. But I always thought it was more a political thing too, though, because of the governments but that never stopped the Secret Service before. So it seemed like they pretty much did whatever they wanted to any other time. Mm-hmm. But this was a good way to go out, and if it went wrong, they wouldn't get blamed for it either.
That is true.
That's true.
I thought it was kind of interesting because I don't know, I kind of really liked this chapter in a way, because it was like he was talking to his future son-in-law, which he really is happy about. And yet they were planning this whole thing. And he was just like, I have connections and I have this. And, I think personally for me, my family comes from Sicily. So it's like the thing that people say, like, I'm a first generation American. And so people automatically say, oh, well then, so, but, and when I saw that, and he was so happy about the new family, that his new family and that his daughter was going to be happy. And then all of a sudden it switches gears, like, okay, so how are we going to take care of this? And I don't know, I just thought it was interesting, It kind of was a little different. So
yeah. It gave him a chance to almost brag about his position and all, and get back out in the field, sort of on. So
all I learned was that don't mess with Gina. Sure, her family's from Sicily.
I thought I picked up on that too, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. For so many generations, and then I marry outside of that. So, but when he was saying things like on the phone, and he was like, "Oh, Corsica" and all that, I was like, "Oh wow, this is interesting." And of course, they're gonna make him from the mob, like. But I mean, I just thought it was a cool that he wasn't just dealing with, he had a vested interest of care with him in a way, you know. So it was just an interesting exchange. Yeah.
That's right. All right. So where are we in the chapter? Is this pretty much all the chapter is that they're discussing?
It's pretty much planning, but you also have like these other capos coming in. They really don't address Bond really at all. Right. It wasn't until like Bond had to give like the last minute of what the place looked like that he got involved.
Yeah.
Oh, it was interesting when it. Well, I'm jumping a little bit, but when he told them that they were all, I guess, good men in a fight, and he said, "I told them you were too, so you better not let me down," kind of a thing. Because he said they didn't respect him if they didn't know if he could hold his own, or they wouldn't. So.
Well, this is also the chapter where Bond says he's going to accompany him.
Yeah. I know.
He wants his fox. Is that what the phrase he used?
Yeah.
He wants the prize. So.
Yeah, he tells Draco that Blofeld's his, that he wants him.
Now, here's a question I have: does Blofeld know that this is James Bond that's doing this?
I think so.
Maybe by now.
Because in the last chapter, in chapter 25, they recognized him. Now they recognize him as the Englander, is what they call him. But I think Blofeld knows that it's Bond.
Okay, so Blofeld knows who Bond is.
Yeah,
I don't think specifically he knows what Bond looks like, because if he knew what Bond looks like, he would have never got in that compound to begin with.
Well, maybe not originally.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
he pieced together who Bond is with. I mean, the organization.
Okay.
Well, and I'm sure that he knows of 007.
And I think
from Thunderball, he knows.
Well, true. That's true.
He knows who 007 is. He may not know who Bond is, but he knows.
I never read that book, Thunderball, so I don't know. In the movies, they had a lot of face-to-face contact, so they knew each other by that point. So he would have known. That's a good point, because you thought he would have recognized him at the ski. Interesting. I never thought about that. That's
yeah.
So maybe in the books he wasn't that close to him.
And that's probably was the case. But I mean, also he was in disguise. In disguise.
Yeah, but you got to remember that. I mean, Thunderball. If I'm not mistaken, was Thunderball, as far as a release after on Her Majesty's Secret Service?
As far as movies go, they were out of order. But as far as books go, Thunderball is before on Her Majesty's Secret Service. So because they reference Thunderball a lot in
the book.
In here,
but I'm talking about the movie itself.
Right.
With the movie, I think Thunderball. So that face to face is coming with on Her Majesty's Secret Service. So in Thunderball, it's a totally different story.
I guess that's true. I had them back. I had that reversed because I was thinking it came out first. But
there are actually two different versions of Thunderball in the movies as well. So
there were.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I've only seen one.
Here I'm looking it up.
Okay.
So you had Thunderball, which came out in 1965.
Well, I do know there was a later Never Say Never was a sort of a remake of Thunderball.
Yes, that's the one. Never Say Never.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that was like Blofeld's son or something, kind of.
There's so much that I don't know.
I'm not sure it says a lot that we've seen them all, but maybe it does.
well, Russell's looking up. Let's cap off chapter 23 so that we can keep rolling.
No, I'm wrong. Thunderball was before On Her Majesty's Secret Service as far as release.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was.
It was Sean Connery, so it's before.
Well, Sean Connery came back one more after.
Never Say Never.
Never Say Never Again, yeah.
Well, no, he said you only live twice. Then On Her Majesty's Secret Service was George Lesbian.
Did you say lesbian?
Lesbi.
Lazenby.
Lazenby.
Who cares? He did one movie.
Oh, Dougie
George does.
This, you're going to hear it.
Oh, you got that, didn't you, Chris?
And then the next one was Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
And that was Sean Connery. Then it went to Roger Moore.
Gosh. Yeah. Kelly, the Mickey Bunch.
Hey,
welcome
Kelly.
in. Good to see you.
Hey, Kelly.
Oh.
Hi, Kelly.
All right. So we cap off chapter 23. Bond gets a telegram, completely forgets to tell Draco that they would be sending a telegram. And it's cryptic and says the birds have assembled in the town and all fly tomorrow, which means the girls will be in Zurich and are in Zurich and will be flying to England tomorrow. So that's going to get handled.
The plan is afoot, as Sherlock Holmes might say.
Yeah.
That's a different book club. Different book club series.
But it still works.
Oh, gosh. So at the end of the chapter, basically they talk about he's got his best 5 guys, and caps it off with, I love this. And now, my friend, I have ordered dinner, a good dinner, to serve us up. And then we will go to bed, stinking of garlic and perhaps a little bit drunk, yes.
A little bit drunk.
And Bond says, from his heart, Bond says, I can't think of anything better. So I couldn't either. Give me some garlic bread and some spirits and I'm happy.
Russ has his hand up.
Yes.
So going back to Thunderball. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Blofeld never meets Bond because Blofeld is in hiding, running Spectre. So in Thunderball, they basically take down the organized version of Spectre. Now in this book, Spectre's kind of more in hiding, and so Blofeld is there. So this is the first time that he will actually have met Blofeld in person.
And that's per the books, right?
In the books, correct.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Okay.
All right.
Chapter 24.
Chapter 24. Russ, you take this. Go for it.
Chapter 24 is called Bloodlift. He goes to Strasbourg to basically meet Draco and to prepare to go up the mountain. They've gotten a helicopter that they've commissioned, basically. It's a stolen military helicopter. And Draco basically tells him that he's called in a lot of favors for Bond. That, he's putting his neck out for him. Bond gets equipment and things like that ready for his, he gets prepared this time to go up the mountain rather than just to, make it on his own. He practices with his gun, with his wearing gloves. He's, got his snow goggles. He's got everything that he needs. He gets picked back up by the taxi driver, and they go to the where the helicopter is. This is where we meet Georges, the pilot, who is very confident, not worried necessarily about because the main concern is getting through Swiss airspace without getting shot down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they have a plan already. They painted the helicopter to look like a
Red Cross
medical type helicopter, and and then they've also taken. They're all wearing uniforms of a fake police force that they've made up, which is the Federal Police of the Alps. And so they take off, and immediately they hear over air traffic control, who are you? Where are you going? And the pilot basically gives them the runaround. And I'll kind of explain things a little bit. When you fly an aircraft, you're supposed to log a flight plan so that the government knows where you're going and where you're coming from. I mean, it's a security thing. Yep. So they know exactly where you're going, where you're coming. It's also a safety thing so that, in the case you were to crash, they know who you are. So they have not they have no flight plan. They're basically taking off from this farm and flying to the mountains. But they're giving the traffic controllers the runaround so that they don't have time to investigate and question where they are and who they really are. And so they hear from the local air traffic control before they cross the border. Then they hear from Swiss air control. And they tell him that they're a mercy flight, that they're carrying blood plasma to people that need that. Well, then they hear from the military air control, and which is much more stern. And again, they're still trying to give them the runaround. They basically ask, who gave you the flight plan? And they say, well, you did. And because they know that they're over on an open frequency, they know that they're not going to dispel that, because then they'll make them sound like they're idiots, to the rest of the country. And then they say, well, then they send a jet to intercept them. Yeah.
I mean, it's the Swiss.
Yeah.
Come on, what are they going to do? Shoot meatballs out of those machine guns? I mean, they're small. You ever see a Swedish meatball? They're very small.
Meatballs.
I mean, come on, they're a neutral country. What are they buying jets for?
Actually, that's a misnomer, though, Tracy. They have a very powerful military. They don't
still have a military.
Hold on.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with the whole. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, in the Swiss, they actually conscript their young men to actually be in the army. You have to actually do some time.
Yeah. And have you not seen their knives?
That's right. Have you not seen their knives?
All I know is their meatballs are delicious. They're nice and tiny and delicious.
That's why the knives have a fork
trying to
on
say
it.
something.
I need to be politically correct for a second, so that we don't insult our Swedish and Swiss viewers, because we have a whole lot of them. Swedish meatballs are not from Switzerland.
Oh, good point.
They're from Sweden, right?
Yes.
And this has been geography from Tracy.
But did I make everybody laugh?
Yeah.
And I didn't even have to show my plumber's crack. So here.
Don't do that, Tracy. I about spilled coffee all over myself.
Anyway, they send a jet to intercept them, and then the pilot basically says, "Hey, wait a minute, we have press on board, the world's press, and they're going to write all about this." So let us go.
I like how the pilot tricked him in, because he was like, "Or do you want to keep messing with the air and make my passengers sick?"
Yeah, that was when the plane came by. Yeah. Rocked them a little bit.
Right.
Sure, you're welcome in.
Again, they're on open airways, so everyone can hear, them talking to each other. And if they were to shoot down this helicopter, the world is going to think that this is a medical helicopter with passengers on board. And so that would, it would create a gigantic political, mess.
Candy Mop, did you put that in the chat?
Yes. It's inevitable.
Candy Mom, it's too bad you weren't here earlier. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Why?
But anyway, they get through the airspace. They get to the mountain.
Why.
That's where this chapter ends. So
she's seen the video before we started.
I don't know that she was in that stream.
You mean about the apples?
I'm sure that everyone will see it eventually.
Yeah.
I'm confused on the end and beginning here. Had they landed on the mountain yet, or did they actually do that in 25?
That's in 25.
Okay. So we ended. They're still flying up the mountain.
Yeah, they're flying up the mountain. So
they ran together on me. I wasn't sure which one happened first there.
I like how these these chapters are really flowing now. We're getting into the action now.
Well, it's getting close to the end. I mean, they're speeding up.
And it is. It's moving much faster now, and it's a little bit more exciting. it's the Bond that we know. So
I'll be right back. Continue.
And we're far away from chapter 4. So
Tina left just in time.
Hey, so I didn't bring it up this time.
What else? I mean, what else did you guys like about this chapter? Because I enjoyed this chapter. Of course, I
like the band. Well, it kind of goes back to 23 too. But I mean, the old man, whatever he's called,
Draco.
Yeah, that's easier than Orange. But
yeah,
Draco was just. I like the banner. I mean, he's sort of a classy crook in a way, but I also got the feeling he's probably pretty much a bad dude when he needs to be.
Yeah.
He's not one to mess with, I don't think.
I liked in chapter 23 where Bond is telling him about what Blofeld has been doing, and he's even disgusted with Blofeld. It's like, well, I'm a crook, but this is just wrong.
Yeah. You know? Well, honor among thieves, and this guy has no honor. Yeah, I did. I like that too. And the fact that he's in the belly of that helicopter with his men, I think, meant a lot to them, because I doubt that he normally went out on missions with them. I think it's because his future son-in-law's there, for one thing, and maybe because this is such a different mission. But
he even mentions the fact that, hey, sometimes you got to be out there with your men, because then they learn they follow you even more. It's just part of being a leader, and
True.
So you've got to be in the front line sometimes, because otherwise they won't respect you, exactly. And so that's part of it too, I think. But yeah. I like it also, and I didn't mention this, but when they are getting rocked around, when they're having their flybys, like Bond looks down and he's like kind of freaking out about it. It's like, are we okay? Are we not? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, some parts of this are interesting to me, because going back to my aviation career, or my gearheadedness, they're specific about the jet. It's a Dassault Mirage, which was actually a famous French-built fighter jet that the Israelis used to use. In fact, for a long time, they used them in some of their Middle Eastern wars, but the French also sold those things to everybody, so pretty much. But they don't ever really talk about the helicopter, although from its description, I think I know what it is. But that's irrelevant to the story.
Right.
But in the movie, they flew 2 or 3 helicopters, and they flew Hueys, what same helicopters we flew in Vietnam.
Right.
Which I wondered if they would get that specific in the book. And this book came. I'm not even sure Hueys were around in '63. Well, they might have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's what was in the movies yet.
Well,
this is a bigger helicopter.
Didn't they say that it was a Russian helicopter?
They might have. I missed that.
I can't remember where they got it from.
No. Tina says no.
No?
They got it. Oh, maybe she's talking about something else.
Yes,
she's talking about the highlighted comment is Chris behaving.
She's not paying attention to the book. She's just messing around with people in chat.
Actually, where are we in the book? Please clue me in.
We're up to chapter 25.
We were just talking about
24.
Welcome to book club, Tina.
Yeah. It's only your stream. The book you chose.
No, Dougie chose it, and then he didn't come back.
Then he left.
It's true. Well, she left. What'd you do?
All right, Chris,
Tracy, what did you do?
What did I do?
Well, it's usually you that gets the blame.
That is true. I usually am the instigator most of the time.
When it comes to Tina, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we on chapter 24 yet?
25. I just did 24.
Yeah,
while you were off gallivanting and doing stuff.
And I only got part of 25. I read 22, 23, 24 this time.
I didn't read chapter 25 yet.
You what?
What?
Oh wait, I did.
Well,
sorry, everybody. She's been away making out with Flipper, and she's still flustered. So
Flipper, stop distracting your wife.
He's not home yet.
Well, then who you been making out with?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So who did you go make out with?
I'll never tell. Okay, moving on to chapter 25.
Wait till Pete hears about this.
She was reading chapter 4 again.
In 14. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, I can start out in 25, but I can't finish it. So.
All right. Chapter 25. M. Hell's Delight, etc. I think he means Mount Hells. Is that what he's thinking of? Or
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So the book starts off. They see the mountain that he absolutely loathes, and they get to it and they land on the top of the building, right? Where there's like a helipad. Is that what I'm understanding?
They had there was a helipad, on one of the buildings, I think.
Okay. And they're getting transmissions from the place saying landing forbidden, this is private property. They land anyway. The men meet them on the tarmac, or whatever you want to call it, the helipad. All hell breaks loose, and then Bond sees Blofeld making an escape for it and goes after him down the ski slopes. Correct? Am I right so far?
Down the bobsled chute.
The bobsled chute. That's what that was. So at this point, Bond doesn't have skis on or anything. He's just got his snow boots or something, right?
No, they've got the skeleton sleds. Have you seen the Olympics the skeleton?
I read skeleton and I'm thinking of like this full bodied skeleton because I didn't no idea what that was.
All right, so you know what the luge is, right? You know what bobsled is in the Olympics? Mm-hmm. Where they're in the big, they're 2-man, 4-man bobsled.
Oh, I've seen Cool Runnings, yes, sir.
Okay. So now you have the luge. The luge is where they go down feet first in the same kind of bobsled, but their heads back and their feet first. Okay. Skeleton is the opposite of luge, where they go down head first.
Yes.
And that's actually the most deadliest bobsled run they can do. It just recently got back into the Olympics. It was actually taken out because it's so dangerous. Yeah. It just recently got back in. So if you're going down the bobsled run in skeleton, whoo boy, that's dangerous.
Yeah. It's almost like riding the old, I don't know, what were they called? Red Runner? I don't know. The old sleds we used to go down the hill in, and when I was a kid, they were, you laid head first and went down.
Was this like Chevy Chase, Serial Varnish on a sled?
No, worse.
Worse?
Worse.
Okay.
They even say that they get up to like 60, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, which is true. They do. They probably go faster than that now, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. All right. So he's chasing Blofeld down this bobsled thing, and then there's it's like World War III up in this piece, or I guess closer to World War II. But yeah. What is so funny, Russ?
Just that you just said that.
Oh, okay. And so I was like, wait, what?
Up in this piece is bad, man.
Chris is up there flashing signs. He's a little worried there.
Yeah.
She's all flustered because she's thinking about making out with Flipper later. That's what it is.
No. Wait, yes. Yeah. So this is not that kind of stream, folks. Okay, so gets to the bottom, yada yada. There's a grenade, blows up the whole entire mountain, from what I understand, right?
Well, it blows up. So Blofeld throws a grenade.
Yeah.
And it explodes, but then also Draco and his men are blowing up the buildings up top.
Yeah, they had plastic with them.
Because Mr. LaPouf here has blown everything up.
Gotcha.
Mr. LaPouf, he was the demolition expert. That's right.
Gotcha. Movie Mania Nick, welcome in. Okay, so Bond is pretty beaten up at this point. He gets to the bottom. There's like a fire truck or something that comes, and
now I'm more interested.
Mm-hmm.
And they mix up some story about he's a tourist, and oh, that's right, because you're a firefighter. Okay. Took me a minute. And so
oh, what a letdown.
I know.
Sorry.
I thought he was a plumber.
Yeah, that's it.
That's his other job.
Oh, firefighter Donald. He's so cute. Does he show his crack too? I'm just kidding. Well, actually, he does because he's Donald.
Show him your tail feathers.
Tim's choking.
I'm sorry, Tim.
Does anybody know the number to the area that Tim lives in?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Sorry.
So I apologize. If you want to know what we're referencing, rewind the stream, guys.
No.
And
I'm sorry.
Or stay tuned.
No, there's no stay tuned.
There's always stay tuned.
All right. So Blofeld, no, we're past Blofeld gets away. Bond's getting all bandaged up. He makes up the story, and they take him. They took him somewhere. They took him to.
Well, he in his story he says he's trying to get to the train station, and so they take him on to the train station to drop him off. So that
So he sleeps the entire for most of the train station. Gets off, and he is in. Where does he take the train to?
Well, yeah, they take him back to Strasbourg. He goes back to
Strasbourg, and
to Station Z.
That's right. Goes to Station Z, knocks on the door. It's like 2:00 in the morning, I think, at this point, or past 2:00. Whatever that agent is that's there, lets him in, takes him in. He's and opens up this secret room. And I want to highlight this because I really thought this was interesting. So Bond, where is it? I think it's more. He says to Bond, is anyone tracking you? And Bond says there shouldn't be. And that raised a red flag to me because I wonder, is he being tracked? I wonder if he's being tracked and he just doesn't know it. So,
well, remember last time he was at Station Z, last time that they went, and in the book they showed Station Z that there was a car out front.
Right.
And so they know what Station Z is. Blofeld knows, but not necessarily that Bond is there. So that's another reason why they have the secret room with the communication stuff. So
Katrina's lost.
Katrina,
we kind of got kind of quick.
Yeah, it kind of these chapters kind of go fast, and there's not a lot of. Well, it's just a lot of description.
There's a lot of action.
Yeah,
that we just kind of went over.
All right, here's we go. It started out with Bond going. Choo-choo.
Pretty much.
Man, I missed all that. I was looking down. Sorry. Oh man, can you run through that again, Tracy?
I'll clip it for you.
Okay.
Basically,
okay.
Helicopter.
Yeah, you got to present him, Tina.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Train station. You didn't have to present all of that.
But I did. So
she did.
Okay,
anyway.
All right. So now we have reached Station Z. He is in this room sending a telecommunication thing, teleprinter or something like that.
Yeah.
Teletype.
Telefriend.
Yeah, telefriend.
YouTuber.
Basically says, puts it in there, reads out properly. Stop. Details lacking as I went solo after the owner who greatly regret got away and probably italicized by now. Stop. Forwarding full report from Station M, then gratefully accepting 10 days leave, signed 007. Mm-hmm. So he's good.
Well, I was going to say, and he sends that in code so that Blofeld doesn't know what he's saying, so that really it's more so that agent doesn't understand what he's saying. For in the case that Blofeld comes and interrogates him,
right,
he can't give up the plan. So,
right. Mm-hmm. So we end the chapter with sets up a bed for him, I think it is. Oh, I love this. Bond watched the message go. The end of another chapter of his duties as Knock-On had put it on Her Majesty's Secret Service. I like it. We get the name of the book in the chapter. What would Her Majesty think of the string of crimes committed in her name? It was stuffy in that little room. Bond felt a cold sweat break out on his forehead. He put his hand up to his face, muttered something indistinctly about the bloody mountain, and gracefully crumpled to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And the chapter ends.
Yep.
So, yeah. Thoughts?
Yeah, now we're left. I mean, they blew everything up, and I guess they got away, but we don't really hear any more about
that was the other thing. Yeah, Blofeld escaped.
Yeah.
And so his report is basically that, yeah, he got away. We got to track him down again. He's probably in Italy.
Does anybody else think they could have had a little bit more of an elaborate plan?
Well, I mean,
who knows?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
if it
I
was
think
me, I'd come in with the helicopters, come about 10 Chewy helicopters. We all land, take it all out. Then we come up with we start scaling the mountain with the Alpine Rangers, and then we come up. We send a crew up the cable car. We all converge at the same time, meet, and then hug.
Personally, I would arrive with a Star Destroyer, snow troopers, have them come up from the bottom, and
Yeah, but they can't hit anything.
That is true.
But we have numbers.
You are in the Alps. You could have a snow speeder, maybe a bunch of tauntauns.
Yeah,
we get a bunch of tauntauns.
You know, remember they went through this entire. I mean, they built a model of the compound.
They did.
They worked out this plan, but they did not consider the fact that Blofeld would be there and see them right at the beginning, and take off with the skeleton thing. He even mentions the fact that why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I study this thing and know how to get to get down this thing faster in case that he did run. So
and what's even worse is the pilot's the one that spots Blofeld.
Yeah,
right.
True.
He points him to Bond, and Bond's like, "Oh crap, here we go."
Yeah. So they were not prepared for that.
He didn't hang around to see on the fight or anything. He was gone. No. He wasn't taking no chances. He was out there.
Yeah.
Which I guess was probably his plan all along.
But I mean, that's who Blofeld is. Blofeld is not the action guy. Blofeld is the mind. He's the brain of the operation, and so he's not a fighter. He knows he will lose, so he has to escape.
And I almost felt like, in a way, like no matter what angle they tried to maybe get at him, it was going to be covered. Like, and that's why I think, the Mark-Ange, I guess because he operates a little bit more under the table and like just does things that maybe somebody wouldn't expect. But I just feel like, I don't know, it was like, okay, like I think when I was reading this chapter, I'm like, so now how is it going to work? Because it seems like no matter where they go, they're seen or figured out in some way. It's like he slips right through and he's like, oh yeah, I'm this person and this is what I'm in. It's just like 1 second, but I guess, that's Bond, and so I'm just waiting to see the other chapters because,
and you got to remember that Blofeld is like Bond's arch nemesis. I mean, he's the best. So go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just waiting. I was just making my fingers move. No, I was, it's kind of one thing I found a little odd. Maybe I've seen too many movies, but as well as they planned everything out, like I said, they made models, they had distances, they made and all that was so they know what buildings are to blow up and all that stuff, what he needed to blow them up and whatnot. But they, almost Bond kind of knew. Well, I guess he did know that the bobsled run was an escape route. Mm-hmm. So I'm almost surprised they didn't have a couple of guys waiting at the bottom of the sled run. Well, you almost would have thought they would have been waiting down there in case he did get away.
Right. I also got to think that, when you're talking about this, they didn't have plan B or plan C. You know what I mean?
Well, no, they didn't.
And anytime you're coming up with an idea of how to attack a certain area, you have to play this what if game. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? You would think with the experience that you had in that room that they would have played the what if game, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like they played the what if game in the book, and that's how he gets away.
Well, and you got to think too that Draco's pretty confident, that they're going to succeed. I mean that he's almost arrogant about it, but that he's not going to get away. They just are confident that they're going to take care of this. So,
but Draco, you have to also believe that Draco, if the shoe was on the other foot, that he would have had an escape plan too.
True.
I mean, he wouldn't be sitting there, ready to be just cornered and that easily. He would. True. I don't know. It's just kind of something they almost seem to have missed. But then again, it wouldn't have been near as exciting if he didn't have to chase him down the bobsled run. So.
Yeah. It's the same thing we've talked about before and other things. You got to have a plot point. So
yeah. Very true. Very true.
And you got to remember, Blofeld continues to be. I mean, he's his arch nemesis that goes through multiple books. So it's like,
yeah.
Well, it's important. I don't want to go to the end of this book, but we pretty much know what happens, and that really turns him into a target of Bond's after this. I mean, he gets.
Yeah.
I know there are other books. In fact, I think movies. Well, Diamonds Are Forever. The first thing, he's still out chasing Blofeld. I mean,
we can explain this easily to Tina. Blofeld and Bond is like Voldemort and Harry Potter. You can't have one without the other.
Kind of.
Hey, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah, can you explain that to me? That I've never read that.
You've never read Harry Potter? I can explain it to you.
So it's like He-Man and Skeleton.
Luke.
Yeah. It's like Luke.
Yeah.
And the Emperor.
Yeah, the Emperor, not Vader, because Vader was his dad. So that makes. Go ahead, Tina.
No, I was waving to Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Oh. Oh, Matt.
All right. So we're coming up 10 of. So any final thoughts before we go around and talk about our channels?
No, it was certainly an exciting chapter. Oh. I almost finished the book.
What?
I almost finished the book. I was tempted to go ahead and finish.
Did you read ahead?
I didn't, but I came very close to.
Two more chapters.
I probably, if I really would have gotten to this chapter, there's a good chance I would have probably went on. But I have been really good. This time I haven't read ahead of the book, and that's what hurts me, is like when I don't have time, I can't get to the chapter that I'm supposed to.
Yeah. All right. Russ, what's going on with your channel? Oh, wait.
So
recap real quick. Next week we'll do chapters 26 and 27.
And that's it, right? 27 is the last one.
27 is the last one. Now, do we want to watch the movie too and talk about the movie next week in case we run out of material for next week? Or do we want to save that for a completely different stream?
If Tracy's here, we'll have plenty of material. We don't need to.
That's true.
He's bound to do something. He's bound to do something between now and next week.
I think we'll have plenty to talk about it at the last
Sorry,
chapter,
Tracy.
So save her for 2 weeks.
I think so.
Okay.
I have a question about that.
That also gives us 2 more weeks to figure out what we're going to do next.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True. Does anybody know if this movie's available? I don't know if I have.
It's on Amazon.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Probably to rent.
Prime.
You got to pay for it.
I don't know. If you have Prime, I don't know if it's free or not.
It's not.
Some of them are and some of them aren't, but I don't think that this one is.
Yeah, this was on.
I tried
Vizio's free channels back during Christmas, and this was never my favorite movie.
Yeah.
So I never watched the whole thing.
No,
so
I'm not a big fan of this.
But now I really want to, because I've always seen the end of the movie. I've never seen the beginning of the movie. So now I'm really curious to see how close it does follow the book.
Yeah.
It's the end of it is different.
It's very different. It's very different, but yeah.
I have a trick up my sleeve. We'll talk about it after, though. So.
Well, I think I already have it, so we can maybe talk about a way we can view it. But
okay, all right.
Looks like it's $2.49 to rent it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's $249.
All right, Russ, what's coming up on your channel?
So I had debated on going to Disney Springs tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to just because the crowds are insane right now.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to just stay home tomorrow, and just hang out, and then we'll be on. I'll be on with you tomorrow night. But so Saturday, I think is the next thing for me. We're going to be doing our cricket tutorial stream, making T-shirt. Making Tina's T-shirt.
Yay!
Wait a minute. Tina's T-shirt. What's going to be? Does she know what it's about, or is that a secret?
Yes, she and I have been working on a design. But I'm just using that as an example. So I'm going to be making her shirt while others make other things. But we're going to be making T-shirts. So I'm going to go step by step, the every step to make a T-shirt using the Cricut and one. So that's basically what it is. And then Sunday at 3, I'll be hosting Nerd Talk for Tracy, since he has to do training. So for Falcon and Winter Soldier. So.
Oh yeah!
I can't wait to watch this.
Sweet.
It's gonna be weird without Cap, but I was telling my husband that like to see them without him there, and of course him and I are rivals with Cap, and he's like Iron Man, so he always, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so weird. He's like, yeah, it is, and I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it.
You guys will have to pick different teams now.
Yeah, exactly.
Marvel posted the last trailer yesterday.
Yeah, I watched it. It's good.
It's really good.
For what? Black Widow?
No, for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh. See, I'm behind on that. I'm worse than I haven't watched half the Marvel movies. I have to admit. And so I don't even know. I thought Winter Soldier was already out. So this is the new one, though, right?
Well, this is so they had the movie, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Well, now because throughout the stories that you've missed, Winter Soldier is actually a good guy.
He was Bucky, right?
Yeah, he's Bucky. So so now it's the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So Falcon, one of the other Avengers,
right?
This guy. Just different costume.
And that's coming out. I'm sorry, Tina.
It's a limited series. It's 6 episodes.
Don't mind me. I'm just
on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Well, I can watch that then. Good.
Yes.
All right.
Well, and if you haven't already, you need to watch WandaVision too.
Thank you, Katrina.
Yeah, okay. I do need to watch WandaVision.
Iron Man, what's coming up next on your channel?
Is that what the glasses are?
Yep.
I thought maybe he just wanted things to look rosy.
I was just waiting so patiently to say that. That's what I was waiting for. Go ahead, Iron Man, what's coming up on your channel?
Thursday is Not Wasting Time. And Russ is doing me a solid by hosting the Nerd Talk. So I'll be on Nerd Talk on Sunday if I'm out of training early. I just I won't be available to do the legwork to get that done beforehand.
Do you have no pizza on Friday? Pizza night?
No, I think we just did pizza, so no pizza this Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Got a week off.
Oh,
all right. Tim, what about you? What's coming up on your channel?
It's Saturday morning coffee, and actually I'll make sure it's a short show. We had kind of a long show last weekend because everybody was just kind of hanging out. But I think Triple P and Lynn Project are going to do a coffee and contemplation Saturday morning at 11. So I'll just be on from 10 to 11. But I will be there for a while, and then I'll be on. I'll join them probably in the chat. So that's all I've got this week. I'm still working on my video. I hadn't finished.
You're not gonna do another stream of Hillbilly Shakespeare?
Well, that could happen. I'm open to that.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy that. I think that should totally be a thing. But anyway.
Well, we could probably make that happen, Russ. We'd have to talk about that a little bit.
Well, you not me. You need to get Pam because she's better at that.
Well, she's better at than I am. She knew the words. I knew the concept, so I was working on the fly.
Oh gosh! Hey, Will, welcome in. Yeah. We're just wrapping up. All right, Gina. I know. What do you have? Anything at all?
No. I've been my daughter was really sick this week, and but I got all my stuff ready for my photography, and then hopefully every time I say that, I'm like something else springs up, but I watch a lot of the streams, and it's been it's nice, to do that. So
are you getting into photography, or have already been into photography, or you said photography, right? Did I hear that?
Yeah. My dad was in it a lot when I was growing up, and I was in it a little bit, but then I didn't do much with it. I was doing a lot of homeschooling and stuff, but then I thought, you know what, I want to, I really want to do that. And so I have his he's got like several cameras. Like, can I borrow one? So yeah.
Yeah, I really want to get some new equipment. My stuff's all old and worn out, and I'd like to get back into it too. But anyway, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Those that don't know, Gina is Classy Disney Mom in the chats. So, yeah. All right,
what was
Chris.
so funny?
I know. What's so funny?
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, you gotta watch what you say, because Chris bites stuff.
Oh, what did I say?
Don't bring anything to attention, Tracy.
Oh, Mal, you said you had used up equipment and you needed new ones.
Photographic equipment.
Oh my word! I can't do that.
I'm not going to say anything else. That's it.
Chris, what's coming up on your channel?
I'm joking. I'm messing. Chris,
nothing about long or short lenses or anything.
Chris has a video coming out soon, right?
No, he doesn't.
I bet he does.
Oh, he does.
I'm really hoping he doesn't.
I got a couple of things in the works, so yeah.
And you streamed NASCAR, the NASCAR race past Sunday.
Yeah, this past Sunday we did the race. Probably won't go this Sunday, but in 2 weeks we'll be doing Bristol. They'll be racing on dirt for the first time since 1971. So we will be covering that one. But I got a couple of videos I'm working on that'll be coming up before then.
Awesome. All right, guys. Tomorrow, check out Wednesday Whenever This on this channel. We will be discussing St. Patrick's Day, all things, everything. I tried to make it Disney themed, but we're just going to be talking about St. Patrick's Day with some fun facts and some interesting clippets. So, yeah. And tonight there is no Three Musketeers on Gonzo's channel for us because Viapre Project is back at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So go check out Viapre Project tonight at 9. Next week we will resume Three Musketeers on Gonzo's channel with Crest from Addie Family Adventures and Gonzo. And then I'll be around, pop up at random. So go check it out. I still have the fundraiser for Pete going on, my Etsy shop. Everything purchased through the month of March is going towards Pete McDevitt on my Etsy page, so go check that out. And what am I video with some craft? Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, chapters 25 and 26. Sorry, 26 and 27. I hope you have a great week. And think of I always botch this. Think of a happy little thought and a merry little thought. I botch it every time. Know that you are loved and appreciated, and I just love seeing you guys. So have a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
I also play.
No!
Yes.
Stop!